some experiences that I've had that I think have been impactful for myself is last summer I had the opportunity to be a counselor at the Nazarene Kids Camp, and I've gone to kids camps in the past, but I've never actually gotten the chance to be a counselor, and I got the experience of getting drawn closer to God, and you could see throughout the week that these kids were being impacted, and I think that was very powerful for me, just because I know sometimes life throws challenges at you, and the devil's constantly going to be pushing at you and challenging you, and I think kids camp for me was just a reminder of how strong God is, and just a reminder of how impactful he is. And I had the chance on the last night before leaving to just watch several kids just put their faith forward and put their hand on the cross and just trust God. And it's powerful for me to see all these children at a young age to see the difference Christ makes in their life, and that was very impactful for me. And I got the chance to pray with one kid in particular who was really shy and kind of reserved their entire week, and he, there was a few activities that he didn't want to do because he was just scared, and kept reminding him that it's okay, and God's here with us, and he'll be taken care of, and he'll be with you, and he's going to protect you. And that kid in particular, when I saw him just kind of step out of his scaredness and be brave and go up and touch that cross, that for me was just mesmerizing how this little 10-year-old boy was impacted. And afterward I got the chance to pray with him and just pour God's love over him and just be there with him, and it's something that will stick with me for a long time. And it's not always, you don't always get the opportunity to make an impact on a child, and when you get the chance to, it's that is something that reminds me of how strong God's love is, and how faithful he is. You got to bring a positive light in the sometimes negative world. And I think being able to be a teacher, and now teaching in Sunday school, and teaching the kids back there, and just being able to be there and remind them that God loves them, and there'll be times in life where you'll be challenged and you'll be doubted, and just like I went through the experience with kids camp, and being able to be reminded of that is something that's extremely powerful, and words can't even describe the feeling exactly, but that God is there with you, and God is there with them, and being able to provide that for them, and just be there with them as they go through the struggles of being a kid and dealing with the pressures that they face at school, and just helping them through that has been extremely impactful for me. When I started teaching Sunday school, I want to go into it with an open mind that it's something that I could do, and it's hard not to, when you're doing something, starting something new, to kind of have some doubts and concerns that maybe this is more than you're biting off more than you can chew, and it's you're not going to be able to do this. But I just kind of was reminded that God told me that you can do this, and I'll be there for you. And I prayed about it, and I started out, and it's every time I did a lesson, I was reminded of stuff. Okay, I can do this now. This works better than this, and I think that was God just kind of challenging me and saying, this is what I want you to do. This is where I want you to be. Just seeing the joy and the happiness when they find out more about Jesus, and being able to pray, and just seeing them be touched by God, and they becoming good examples, and the stories that they share, and sometimes they end up teaching you just as far as being able to be open about facing struggles, but they can say that I went through this experience, and the entire time I knew that God was with me, and that helped me get through that. And just being able to hear that from an innocent child as they are learning and developing, it's really impactful.